when Love Is Wicked came out, like, instead of us listening to
Listen,
the warnings,
we were just there trying to belly dance. They were literally, they were screaming as well. Love is wicked. No.
Love Is Wicked.
Your love is wicked. No. They were like, there's toxicity out there. You're like, no.
Bruh.
Hi, I'm your host Tendai, and welcome to episode 4 of Soundtracks, the podcast where we share the personal connections we have with music and how these connections have shaped our emotions, our experiences, and our memories. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for trusting me with your time. On this episode, I sit down with my friend Roberta. Roberta was the very first friend I made when I moved to London, and she was also there when I went to my very first concert in London, which was Burna Boy in 2021. Roberta shares with us her love for old school classics from the Bee Gees, Shaka Khan, Kanye West, Biggie Smalls, and we also bond over the music that reminds us of our childhoods, of high school, really just much simpler times. We also go through a listener submission that demonstrates that home isn't a physical place, it's really the people that we love. I really hope you enjoy this episode. And if you do, please like, subscribe, share, just basically give me as much feedback as possible so that I know that we are creating this community and we're all involved. I also encourage you to share your soundtrack, stories about the music that you love, music that has shaped your lives. And the link to that is in our show notes. And without further ado, this is Roberta's soundtrack. Hi, Roberta.
Hey girl, hey.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, T-Money. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. Like, this is such an incredible...
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
And you were the first friend I made here. Do you know that?
No way!
Yeah, you are.
What?
When you messaged me on Teams during that one lecture, was it Teams or Zoom, whatever it was?
Yeah.
You were the first, because I was just,
Yeah.
I just gotten here. I think it was the first lecture or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like the first person to reach out. I was like, away.
Oh yeah, and now look, 3 years later,
We're
we're
here.
out here recording podcasts and whatnot.
Doing things.
Damn, I actually hadn't deeped that.
Yeah, you're the
crazy.
first person to message me. The
Yeah,
first friend that I
man.
made in the UK was you.
I think that was my LSC rep doing the most in people's
You were like,
DMs
you
on
were just
Zoom.
looking for other Africans.
Just like,
and they're
guys,
like,
where are
hello.
my people at though?
She's just trying to congregate and find each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I reached out.
Yes, thank you so much.
Look at us.
Thank you for making us. Thank you for
You're welcome.
Thank you for making this happen.
No, my pleasure.
So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to play a game.
Yeah.
I call word association.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a word, and the first song that comes into your mind when you hear it, is what you give me.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds good.
The first word is holiday.
Girl, I'm chilling at the Holiday Inn.
What song is that?
You with? It's by Chingy. He's an American rapper. The guy who sings right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I literally had the biggest crush on Chingy.
Chingy was good looking.
Yeah, no, he, excuse me, he was literally such a cutie. Like, I remember being in, like, primary school, like, being, like, this man who was obviously, like, 20, 30 years older than me. I was like, he can get it.
No, but he was, and they marketed him so well as well.
Yeah.
And I remember the video for Right There, like, he's so close to his face.
I
I'm like,
know.
you know what you're doing.
I know.
And
I
I'm
know.
receptive.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, so Holiday Inn by Chingy and Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second word, Kampala.
There's so many songs. Because obviously that's home, but I think like probably like the first one that would come to mind is Nakudata by Radio and Weasel. They were literally like the biggest like East African duo for a while. So now Kwanini na Kudata. Like it's I know it's in Swahili, but like they released banger after banger after banger. And that was probably one of my favorite songs by them.
Was that during like your childhood and stuff?
Yeah, so it was during I think like radio and Weasel were really big like when I was in high school. And yeah, like it was literally like you know those artists who just come with like banger after banger and like literally obviously like I wasn't in the club when I was like 14, but yeah, no, so yeah, and unfortunately like yeah, one of the members in the duo passed away unfortunately a couple of years ago, but the music lives on.
Of course.
Yeah.
I want to come to Kampala. Do you know that?
Girl, you need to come. You need to come when I get married, inshallah. We turn it up.
That's why I'm trying to collect friends from all over so I can go to weddings all over.
No, girl, come. Like Kampala is like the best vibes ever. Like everyone's so friendly. Like the food is great. We can also do a safari thing like outside of Kampala.
Like I say, like Ugandans, I guess a good vibe, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But they say I saw a TikTok the other day. Who drinks something like who drinks the most? Zimbabweans. Yeah, we can turn it up. Zimbabweans, South Africans, or Ugandans. Well, like Ugandans, and the Kenyans as well.
Kenyans. It's like a low key problem when you deep it though. Like
it's not
like
nothing
guys,
to laugh about.
Okay, yeah, like turn up, but also like guys, like
decorum.
Like what is really going on? Like
what's wrong at home?
Like what is really wrong? You know, like why are the clubs streaming with people Sunday to Sunday? People streaming out of the club like at 6 a.m. Sunday to Sunday, like. What's the challenge?
Just having a good time.
But no, it's
having a good time.
It's a vibe. Now, when you come, we'll definitely live it up. Yeah.
Third word, love.
Love. So there's this song by Wyclef Jean and Eve. LOVEYOU. I ain't trying to lose your love tonight. I love.
What's it called? Love.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah. I think they say LOVE, but yeah. Love and it's just like I don't know, like the beat about that song is the beat is like I don't know, it's like a really like smooth beat, like club banger beach vibes. As you can see, like I reference the club a lot. Like y'all know I was made for the streets. For the club.
I know where home is for me.
Exactly. But yeah, and I think also it came out like obviously I'm quite a big fan of like the early 2000s music. And I was a really big fan of Wyclef Jean, like when he was releasing a lot of those bangers, like in the early 2000s, and Eve as well, the rapper. So like, you know, that song's a really good one. Nice blend of like rap with like Caribbean music.
I was about to say like, because Eve is a rapper and
rap and like Caribbean vibe. So yeah, no, it's good. It's a good one.
I always think because I've talked to a few people on this couch and. You think not like you think you know music. There's no way you're gonna know every song of the world. But like you get introduced something, you're like, I don't know how that missed me.
Yeah.
And it's like I used to listen to Eve when I was a kid. I don't even you know her tattoo. Damn.
Yeah, dude, that tattoo.
That tattoo.
Baddie.
It was in every single because you know she had that short haircut.
Yes.
Every single salon in on Wadiva, that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Had a picture of that as like a reference.
Yeah.
And that tattoo, and I can remember sitting
prince,
there,
the poor prince,
getting my hair relaxed and Eve's quarter. I was like, damn.
Yeah. No.
One day when I'm older, but still.
But
not.
I know. No, I'm like, let's just leave that to Eve. That's her signature. But no, those tats. Like I remember watching one of her music videos for Who's That Girl.
Ooh.
I think that's the first time I saw those tats, and I was like, she bad.
So cool.
She bad.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
She's just about her business. I think that these days you have to be more than a musician. I think you have to have that personality aspect and people need to be in your business and know about your life. But Eva's just like
No, she's that girl. Yeah. I'd love to watch her in concert one day. Actually.
I could so much energy, I can imagine.
Yeah, well girl, if she comes to London, we know what we're doing. It's a plan.
Going to an Eve concert.
It's a plan.
Fourth word, energy.
Energy. So Beyonce, Move Your Body. So you know Get Me Body by Beyonce, but the Move Your Body. Yeah, the Move Your Body. No, I loved that. And like I remember the music video and like
the classroom one.
The classroom one,
cafeteria.
And it was like Get Me Bodied is a good song, but Move Your Body came with like a whole other level of energy. And like there's a bit it's in the song where it goes, I think move one step to the dance hall vibe. And you guys know I identify as Jamaican.
You do.
Obviously.
You do.
So I was like, yeah, so honestly, like every time I think like energy, good vibes, Move Your Body by Beyonce, 100%.
You do identify as
I do.
You do.
I do, yes.
I laughed so hard at that. I never know why it caught me off guard. So sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine.
Fifth word and last word. Mom.
Mom. Oh. This one's sentimental. I think the first song that comes to mind when I think about my mom is a song for Mama by Boys to Men. Like I think the words in that song are like, you know, extremely sentimental. Obviously, I love my mom very much, and yeah, like I think Boys to Men like perfectly captured like, you know, how incredible a mother is, like how much she does for you, and like yeah, the fact that I feel like I'm forever indebted to my mom because she's a star. I love her. Yeah. So yeah, shout out Boys to Men. Yeah.
And your mom.
Yeah. She's a real one.
I miss my mom.
Yeah. Me
Being in
too.
this country is hard anyway.
Dude, long distance relationships with parents. Bruh. Yeah. No, it's a lot. It's a lot.
But I also find that being here, I don't know how to explain it. It's when I was in Cape Town or at home, my parents would call me for the littlest thing. Like they would just vent or whatever they need to do, they would just do that, you know? But here they don't do that anymore. Like they're like very much like leave me alone almost.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because they just let me do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And my sisters would fill me in if there's something going on, but they don't tell me themselves. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad. I don't know. They're like, oh yes, let her live her life type of thing. But also like, hello.
Yeah, no, I know
Pick
exactly.
up the phone.
I know, I know exactly what you mean. Like, I think like I was like my dad was in London over the weekend, and I was telling him, I was like, how come you don't call me? Shout out Alicia Keys. Shout out Alicia Keys, and I was like, what is going?
Why didn't you call me?
What's going on? So yeah, no, I fully get it. I think it's one of those things where it's like, of course, when you're at home and like every little thing is kind of like annoying, like it stops, like as you said, and you're just like,
Hi.
hello,
Give me a call. But also the same time.
Sorry.
This is going to be a very long playlist.
I mean, it's a song about music, so girl, any chance I get, I'm just popping in, throwing in them songs. Anyway, yeah.
We can move into Song of the Week.
Okay, let's do it.
So my Song of the Week is Last Thing by Odile. It has like a snippet, it samples One Thing by Amory.
Yes.
And that's like it's One Thing by Amory on its own.
Yeah.
I remember it came out when I was in primary school, and it was during the times of like Channel O music channels and stuff like that. And I would sit there on a Saturday, and she goes, you know, when she's like holding the mic, hey, we know what to about. Anyway, so when I heard the song, it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
But a completely different vibe, because in this one he's like, the last thing I'm going to give you is love. Like you can chill, we can hang out, we can do whatever, but I'm not gonna give you love. But it's a very vibey song. It's really cool. I didn't know Neil was a thing. My sister introduced me to him. It's just a vibey song. No sentimentality this week. It's just a great song.
It's just vibes, and why not? No, I listened to it and I was like, okay, because I'm not very big on like new music. But I listened to it and I was like, okay, I could vibe with this. And yeah, as you said, I fully agree. Like One Thing, like honestly, the first time I saw like One Thing by Amory, I was like, I feel like she's probably gonna get as big as Beyonce, because the energy in that music video.
Amory was...
Yeah, no, she was that girl. She was actually that girl. No, I fully agree. Yeah.
She writes books now, apparently. Children's books.
Yeah, I saw that. I was stalking her on Insta the other day, and I was like, okay, like, diversification of talent. Like, we're here for it, you know? No, but she's... I think she had a really nice song as well, Why Don't We Fall in Love? It was just, like, I was literally there, like, probably 7 years old, like, listening to it thinking about like the future love of my life. I'm like, should I have even like, is that the kind of stuff like a 7-year-old supposed to be thinking about? But it was such a good song. She's such an excellent musician. Yeah.
Her vocals as well.
Her vocals are out. Like, it's the range for me.
Yeah, we miss her.
Yeah.
But she gave us bangers at the end of the day.
Yeah, you know, like the music lives on. Like, you know, shout out to the kiddies and the books. Like, yeah.
I hope that's going well.
Yeah, no.
What's your song of the week?
My song of the week is Let Me Hold You by Bow Wow and Omarion. Quite frankly, like, if you were not like a preteen teenager hetero girl who like was not obsessed with Bow Wow, then like what's going on? Like, honestly, like that, like Bow Wow, like he was so smooth, and he was just so gorgeous. Like, I remember, do you know what I mean? And like, even the way he would rap, the way he would like smile into the camera, and like the "Let me hold you."
That's the first thing I thought is a duh.
I know.
And how many of us are sitting in our TV going?
I know.
Also you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Let me hold you down like a
And he's just like down
like a romance poster. I'm trying to show you the life of the body like you should be living. Oh, baby, you never go wrong. Let me hold you.
And then at the end where he goes down, I was like, he's speaking gibberish, but he's making it sexy. Like, how is that even a thing? Yeah.
You know this is.
Yeah. Oh gosh, but honestly, shout out Bow Wow.
I thought, because when you sent it to me,
Excuse me.
it was the picture, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was what's that song? Yeah, right,
Fresh as a me, bumping like I'm bumping you. Say nothing, homie, you fresh as a me. You ain't got it, you ain't got it. Yo, keep it bumping like I keep it bumping. Love body, yeah, fresh as a me. Yeah, take my videos. You get it crunk like me, but you can't.
Nah.
Dude, honestly, Bow Wow, the flow. Like, I remember for a while.
Yeah, bruh. I'm rich. Yeah, I'm rich. I can
do whatever. I was like, how is this man like so sexy, so smooth? And I remember there was a point where, like, for me, it was a tie between like him and Lil Romeo in terms of like, you know, just like sexy like preteen musicians. But like, like I still think Lil Romeo is like gorgeous, but like I think with the music, Bow Wow just like, oh my goodness, I remember having posters of him in my wall.
I think everyone had posters of Bow
Wow. Yeah, gorgeous man. Shad Moss, was definitely a very significant part of my, you know, preteen,
so hot,
you know, little process growing into a teenager. Like, yeah, no. That guy,
hello,
gorgeous. Yeah, I remember like watching the video of his song with Ciara, Like You, and like there's a bit in the video when he's like in the elevator with Ciara. I was actually so vexed. I was like, why is he holding her like that? My man. Like, what is going? I was actually very vexed, and I was like probably like what 10, and I was just like, ugh. I was like, this is just too much.
That should be me.
Yeah.
That should be me.
No, like me all the way in Africa. These guys are in like Atlanta, but I was like, why is it not me in the lift? Yeah. Such a gorgeous, such a nice song. Yeah.
That era of music, bro.
I know. The early 2000s, like it was something else. Yeah.
Like it's fun now and all, but like I feel like I don't even know what it's the essence that's not, I don't know, it's just not, you have to really struggle to find a song that you feel, okay, cool, I can connect with this, versus like, I feel like a long time ago, you just switch on the TV.
And it just happens.
Switch on the TV.
And it just happens. I fully get that. Like, I think maybe that's why I really struggle to listen to a lot of new music. But I will say, like, someone I've started listening to, who I'm kind of like, okay, is, you know Victoria Monet?
Yes.
So On My Mama and Party Girls, like I know those songs came out maybe like months ago, but I like only really began listening to them like a few weeks ago, and she's kind of giving me that sound.
That's R&B.
Yeah, it's kind of giving me that sound, and like I looked at her age and like she's 34, and I was like, oh okay, like that's like. She's not old, but like for the industry, you know. So
getting her time now.
Yeah, and I'm like maybe also like that's her inspiration because she probably grew up on like that early 2000s stuff. So maybe that's why like you know, it's coming out. But yeah, no, What a time.
That song, oh my mama.
Yeah.
And that video, and
Yeah.
that's her.
Yeah, no, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Energy. Energy.
I see people trying to learn the dance. I
Yeah.
sometimes think about myself like, should you learn dances and do them?
Girl.
Maybe not. You should know your lane. It's not that.
No, honestly, dude, like these TikTok dances and everything, like I'm like, honestly, if it's not like a simple like two-step, like it's just not
And
happening.
it never is.
Yeah, it actually never is.
Because
yeah,
it's just never is.
It's not. It's not. Yeah, you know. But yeah, we watch and appreciate.
Oh, because I'm doing it here.
Yeah.
Like I'm there and I'm doing it here.
I'm there with you mentally.
But I can't even set up my phone to watch myself do that.
Yeah.
I'll just be like,
yeah.
I'm not brave enough. I'm not that brave.
Yeah.
I don't think I can embarrass myself like that, even if I'm just by myself.
Yeah. No, I get that. We continue to live vicariously
to other people.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing it myself.
Yeah. 100%.
So now we're gonna go into your songs.
Okay.
You're gonna pick them out of my IKEA jar.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay, so the first one is Through the Wire by Kanye West. So like obviously I love like rap music a lot, and I remember like when I was younger, like me and some of my cousins used to go to church like every Sunday, like with their parents, and like my cousins, like they were really into like rap music and stuff. They were a couple of years older than me, and they always used to play like, you know, the latest rap. I mean, like playing rap music like on the way from church. I don't know. Problematic. I don't know. Anyway, so they always used to play like the latest music, and like I remember like for a couple of Sundays they kept playing like this song, and I think this like, and I remember just listening to this song being like maybe like 7 or 8 and thinking like, damn, like it's the rhymes for me. I drink a boost for breakfast and intro for dessert. Somebody order pancakes. I just sip the scissor. And I'm like, damn, I was like, who is this guy? Like it was really just like kind of like an introduction into like what hip hop was really about. Like for me, even like I think there's a point in the song where he goes, because like obviously this song came out like around the time that Kanye had just had a really bad car accident. And yeah, and so he had like literally the song is about him like because he like his wife his like mouth was, his jaw was wired and stuff, and he was kind of like rapping about that in the song. And so I remember like there's a point where he says, the doctor said I had blood clots, but I Jamaica. I was like, damn, I think that's probably like the first time I was like probably Googled what are blood clots in Jamaica, and I was like, oh. So I think for me it was just like number one, like the sample. So he samples Through the Fire by Chaka Khan, and like I love a lot of that stuff from the 70s and the 80s. So like I was like, okay, he's like, you know, he's sampling like one of the classics from the 70s, and like he's just like throwing them bars, and I was like, okay, hip hop, like, you know, I can dig this. And then that's how I kind of got into listening to a lot more hip hop, some stuff that came out like way before Kanye did Through the Wire, like the 80s stuff with like NWA and like Biggie and Tupac and all of that. But yeah, Kanye really did something on this one. Yeah, no, I absolutely love this song. Yeah, I probably have it on replay like almost every week.
When you think about like that era of hip hop, is there another artist, another song that just really resonates with you or you just love so much from that like early 2000s rap, or even before that when you think of Biggie and NWA? Yeah. No, definitely. So I think Juicy by Biggie. Like I remember, like I think I know like that song like word for word. Like, you know, I always say, right, like if school was about lyrics, like if uni was about lyrics, I literally would never have to revise. Our parents say that, like you just know music.
No,
just know these songs.
Yeah. No, I really liked Juicy. Like I've never really been like big on like the lyrics and like the meaning behind the song, but I think like that song was like really telling about how like, you know, like Biggie like grew up in New York, like, you know, the struggles and how, you know, he managed to like, you know, make it big. Like I think in Juicy, like one of my favorite like lyrics is, birthdays was the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we thirsty. And
Come up.
I'm like, bars, you know? So, yeah, I really like Juicy. I also like a lot of like the LA stuff with like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Like Gin and Juice is a vibe. Like that's another one where I'm just like flow on point. Like with so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O double G. But somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. And I'm like, you know, I listen to stuff and I'm just like, this is talent.
Where does it come from?
I'm like,
we're not made equally. Like we are not the same.
Exactly. I'm just like, this is like pure. Like these guys are just like, you know, when they talk about like spitting. Yeah. So absolutely love that. Then like, of course, if we go to like I know I know this isn't like a podcast about like the roots of hip hop, but now that we're on the subject,
talk your shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Damn. But like also like the 80s, like some of the stuff that was coming out of the Bronx that then like inspired a lot of like the hip hop in like in the 2000s. Like there's a song called La Di Da Di by this rapper called Slick Rick, and like the beatboxing on there is just insane. And like even like the lyrics, like la di da di, we like to party, we don't cause trouble, we don't bother nobody. And I'm just like, okay. Even like Eric B and Rakim, like Paid in Full. I think Bow Wow sampled one of his lyrics, and I think he basically says something about fish, which is my favorite dish, but without the money, it's still a wish. And I'm like, it's so simple, but you're just like, bars, you know? So yeah, like, so shout out to Kanye for like, you know, getting me onto like the rhymes and then opening me up to explore a lot more about hip hop and the roots of it. So yeah, love me some hip hop.
You do.
I do.
You do.
I do.
I think it has me thinking about how I think I'm guilty of this sometimes, where I don't pay enough attention to the lyrics. I think sometimes because when you listen to music, you're doing something else, so the words just go go past your head. And it is someone's art form. They really are putting themselves out there, and for us to not even listen to the words, I feel like it's a disrespect. And like the song you were just referencing now, La Di Da. I think it's La Di Da.
Yeah, La Di Da Di.
J. Cole samples that in We Like to Party.
Yes, he does.
I was like, wait, isn't that a J. Cole lyrics? And like, it's really not a J. Cole. He did someone else's.
He does, yes.
So I think that one of the things that I'm trying to do, even like starting this and listening to all those songs people are putting me on, is really trying to be intentional about listening to the actual lyrics. Yeah. Sometimes when you hear a song, you're like, oh, the beats are great, and then you just go past the whole message, and you even through The Wire, the Blood Clot Jamaica. I've heard that song a million times. I heard that line the first time yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I heard that line. And like, tonight you're not paying attention. Because I was like, what? I was like, no, he did not just say that.
I know.
You know, maybe because I was younger as well, and also didn't the Blood Clot stuff I know now because I'm here with lots of like Caribbean people, and that makes sense now. Maybe it's reference, but also like, that's a bar.
It is.
We're not paying attention.
It is. Yeah. No, I think. Yeah, I mean, also sometimes a lot of this rap music is just like booty, pop bottles, but yeah, you know, there's like it's always interesting, as you said, like it's an art form, and it's just interesting how people like, you know, just use their life experiences to just like, you know, create amazing bars over a sick beat, because that's important because that's the first thing that you listen to. If the beat ain't fire, man,
so you're skipping through. It doesn't matter how really good the words are.
We're not happening.
We're not.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next word.
Oh, next one. Away. Okay. Okay. Love is Wicked by Brick and Lace.
I think when I think of you, I think of that song.
Honestly, high school, 2008. These two Jamaican women released this song, and I remember like I was in boarding school, and we used to watch TV like before we went for dinner, like after games, and I just remember like me and like all the girls who lived in my dorm, like just watching that music video and being like, wow, and just watching like.
Also, may I want?
Yeah, I know, and like.
What is the
honestly,
mechanics?
yeah,
What are we doing?
And it was just like like it, it was like the beat, like the energy, and it was just like, again, club banger. Of course, like, again, we were too young to be going to the club, but like, you just think of a song and it's just like good vibes. And like, I remember like some of us were like, i.e. myself mainly, maybe other people as well, like I was just so committed to like learning the rap. Never ever thought me get over you. Anybody other than yo. Yeah. And I remember like at the end, like the loving, the kissing, oh my baby, I am missing you. No, and I remember
They clapping.
yeah,
Yes,
tears on my pillow. Oh my god. And then I remember they came to Uganda for a concert. And like I remember like my older cousin took like me and my two younger cousins. And like I remember I'd just come back from like London a few weeks ago. I'd gotten some nice tops. I had a black top from New Look and it had like, it was bedazzled. Girl, put on my black top, like put on my flared jeans. I just got a new Converse also. Like I pulled up to that concert. I was like, yeah, guys, we out here.
My best self.
We are.
We
Come.
We here. Open the gates,
dude. And I just literally like remember watch. I fully used to like call those chicks like my sisters. I was like literally Nyanda, and I think one of them is called Nyanda and one of them is called Nyla, and I was like, those chicks, my sisters. And I think that was like the first concert that like my parents ever let me go to as well. I think I was maybe 11 or 12. And I was just like, I was like, I'm made for this life. But I remember just watching them on stage and being like, wow. Love, like honestly, Love is Wicked. I just think about, it just takes me back to high school in Kenya. And like just me and all the girls just being obsessed with it. Even like every time that song plays in the club to this day, I lose my mind. But did you see this meme on TikTok that was saying, like when Love is Wicked came out, like instead of us listening to the warnings,
you were just there trying to belly dance. They were screaming as well. Love is wicked. No.
Your love is wicked.
Your love is wicked. No. They were like, there's toxicity out there. You're like, no.
Bruh, like, I look back and I'm just like, yeah, they were really warning us that we're out here. Because you're right. She said, your love is wicked.
They screamed at us. The ancestors told us, and we didn't want to listen.
Yo, fam. Yo, yeah, but yeah. But no, honestly, Brick and Lace. And then, of course, they went on to release, like, so many other bangers, like, Boyfriend, Get That Clear, Bad to the Bone,
Bad to the Bone, Can't Leave You Alone.
Yeah, but no, honestly, I genuinely think some of the best music on the continent comes from like the Caribbean and Jamaica. And, like, yeah, no, Jamaicans just know, they know what to do with a beat.
They do.
Yeah, they definitely know what to do with a beat, man. Like, all the way from Murder, She Wrote, Bam Bam by Sister Nancy, You Don't Love Me, Don't Pen, like, woo! Jamaica, Party Central. I might move there, man. I was there on holiday, but I might actually just go live there forever.
You almost didn't come back.
I almost didn't come back, bro. But yeah, shout out to Brick and Lace for that banger and for warning us about Love Being Wicked.
We didn't listen.
Even if we never listened. Yeah. No facts. What a time.
An easier time.
Bruh. Yeah.
I was thinking about boarding school the other day because I went to boarding school, but I went to boarding school in Cape Town. It was just an easier time.
Yeah.
You wanted for nothing.
Yeah.
You had all your friends under one roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what else did you want? It was so much easier.
It was so much easier. I was speaking to one of my cousins and, like, I remember, like, one of, like, our biggest, like, complaint when we were in boarding school was, like, running out of tuck like 2 weeks before your parents came to visit you, and we would be like, oh my god, I've run out of tuck, like I'm so sad. Bruh. I miss those problems.
Yeah. I want to run out of tuck. And that'd be my only problem.
Yeah, I miss those problems. But yeah, no. Boarding school was definitely a vibe. And there was something about songs that like came out around that time that like, really built such cool memories with your friends in boarding school. So yeah, I know it was a grand old time. Grand old time. Shake it up. I know.
They're really your songs at the end of the day.
Okay. Independent Woman, Destiny's Child. Oh my goodness. This one specifically reminds me about like two of my first cousins. Like we were obsessed with Destiny's Child. Obviously, like I'm a Beyonce stan through and through, but like Independent Woman, Destiny's Child, like even the way the beat started, like do, listen up, do, where my girls boo, do, Charlie, Cameron D and Destiny. Yo, I remember like I was like, guys, I was like, how can you be saying words over a beat and you sound so cool? Like, what is that? And I remember like my cousins and I used to do like, I don't know, you probably did this as a child as well, doing like performances for your parents. Yo, like we fully
I'm having so many flashbacks.
We would fully like make like paper like invites and be like, you're invited to plot 30 for this, we're going to be putting on a concert, please bring, like we'd ask them to bring like cakes and soda and snacks on their way back from work. And like shame, like honestly, like I remember we did a few of those shows for like my dad and his siblings, and like they would like fully show up, shame.
I love
So
that.
but I remember like my cousins and I went through like Destiny's Child, we did Independent Woman, we did Bootylicious. Like I was there. For my aunties and uncles. Kelly, can you handle this? I look back and I'm like, damn girl,
What were you doing?
why do you work for a corporate firm? Why aren't you a video vixen? Because
Your talents are wasted.
Thankful to my job though. Yeah, just putting it out there. But like, but literally, like my cousins and I. So I remember like Independent Woman. Like honestly, like especially like the bars, the shoes on my feet, I bought it, the clothes I'm wearing, and like I remember like there was a time my cousins and I like did like a Destiny's Child medley. And Independent Woman was our final act. We rehearsed like our lives depended on it. We had costumes, like the whole shebang.
Is there video proof of everything?
So
here?
I
'Cause
remember,
would love
I
to
remember
see it.
one of my like older cousins was like recording on a camcorder. So we just have to dig that camcorder up. But like, no, honestly, Destiny's Child, Beyonce, Michelle, Kelly. Yeah, no, it was
There was
just
dance. There was outfits. There was
the whole shirt. And then of course like when Destiny's Child broke up, like we continued to do performances to like Beyonce's like first solo album, Dangerously in Love. I remember we did Baby Boy, Crazy in Love. And I remember like for the start of, because you're in Crazy in Love how like she catwalks, there's a point in the video. And that was the beginning of that's how we began. Like we were literally just like catwalking from one room of the end, one end of the room to the other. Hey, bruh. No, honestly, but like Independent Woman, Destiny's Child, like, and I remember like at the time, like, I was like, yeah, like, you just cannot, like, I can't wait to grow up and like, be an independent woman, like, fend for myself and do my own thing. Y'all know how I feel about that now, don't you?
what were we thinking?
Bruh. No, shout out Destiny's Child, man. Yeah, definitely lots of amazing memories there.
We used to my parents would go somewhere and then come back with like clothes for us.
Yeah.
And we'd have to do like a modeling thing.
Yeah.
Like, you have to obviously have to model the clothes.
Yeah.
And we would do our performances during so you'd pick a song,
Okay.
and you'd walk into that song, and then you'd dance to that song.
Yeah.
That's where our performances.
Yeah.
Were definitely.
Yeah,
like, you'd
okay,
come
and
in,
then you
and I had this
clothes.
photo of me, like I used to have, my mom bought me this denim dress. I think I was like maybe 8, 9. I love the shit out of that dress, dog. You know when you have that one piece of clothing,
I
you
know.
wear everywhere.
I know,
And
I
everyone's
know.
like, don't you have other clothes?
Yeah, you're like, nah.
No. This is the
Nah.
dress.
Yeah.
I'm dying in this
Yeah,
dress.
yeah.
Oh, I love the fucking dress. And there's a photo of me, like, so, like, I'm doing, like, a move like this, right? And then there are my sisters who are my backup dancers.
Yeah, were they just like on the
And
side,
they
like this?
They were at the back.
Okay.
Because Chipo and Rumbi, they used to be treated like twins, so they
Yeah.
were wearing like twin tracksuits
Yeah,
in different
yeah.
colors, and they just stay at the back, and then there's me in the front of my denim dress.
You're like,
Oh,
yeah.
I should show you that photo. I look fantastic.
Yeah, and you're actually, and like at the time, you're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
what you know.
Listen.
What you know. Yeah.
And we
yeah.
also used to do them like every December when my uncles would come from South Africa to come stay with us in Namibia for December. We'd also like have a talent show where like different people in the family would do different things. 1 year, Rumbi, who's my younger sister, she wouldn't know she had it in her. I just found her one day. I found her one day dancing to Beyonce's Get My Body, right?
Oh, okay.
She's like 6, dog.
Yeah.
And she was in it to win it. Like she was following the choreo. Click. And so much so that when she did the performance in front of everybody, you know that who is it?
Yeah,
and she'd go,
go.
it's Rumbi.
Oh, forget about B.
It's not about her.
Yeah.
It's Rumbi.
Oh,
And then she
that's
would like
so
touch.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh, I used to love those.
Yeah.
And then Chipo would do whip my hair. Because Chipo and Willow were like this for some reason.
Yeah,
And she'd
okay.
be like, I do my hair back and forth. I do my
Yeah,
hair back and
yeah.
forth. And I don't remember like what I did. For me, I don't remember what I was doing. But my sisters and just that whole talent show, my cousin Tino would preach.
Yeah.
And then my other cousins would sing. It was the whole thing. Like much simpler times and like
Yeah,
just like
I know.
highlights, just trying
I know.
Damn.
No, thank God for the music. You know, it's crazy. Like I saw like a video and like someone was talking about how like Willow like released Whip Your Hair when she was like 9. That song was a banger. And I'm like, damn, not a 9-year-old like releasing
work ethic from beginning.
work ethic from the start, man.
I go hard. Damn. Just like
I'm a, oh, what a time. Ooh, okay. The next one is Frankie by Sister Sledge. Frankie, do you remember me? Frankie. Such a banger. So, like, I'd say probably like for the longest time, my mom had this like OG like record player, and like she had like the really big records, and like she had like I think the first Sister Sledge album, and she always used to play this on a Saturday morning, and I just clearly remember her dancing to Frankie. And no, honestly, like a lot of that music that came out in the 80s and the 70s, I just don't know what it is. It was like the beat, like the beat was so distinct, but it really just like kind of got you into like a nice chilled groove. Like the way this song begins, like the trumpets, do 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 do, hey Frankie, and I'm like
storyline as well. Storyline.
No, honestly, like do 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 do, and like even just like the finger clicks, like, and I think like there's something about how like music was recorded back in the day, because obviously like production has really evolved and stuff, but I think to make a record back then was like a lot harder, and being able to like, you know, mix everything together and like create like a perfect beat, like the harmonies as well, like these people could really sing, bruh. So no, honestly, Sister Sledge, like I think this is around the same time there were like lots of bangers from like, you know, obviously there's this musician that I absolutely love, Donna Summer. Song had gone out of my head. But yeah, there's a song by Donna Summer called Unconditional Love. Give me your unconditional love. And then like Evelyn Champagne, Love Come Down. Like all that, make my love come down. Yeah, so like all that stuff. But I just vividly remember like Sister Sledge by Frankie. I think of my mom. I think about the record player and like the massive record and her putting on like the little on the thing. And just like, yeah, Saturday mornings back in the day. Absolutely love
Would it
this
be like
one.
cleaning Saturday mornings or just like chill Saturday mornings?
Chilled Saturday mornings. Oh God, cleaning Saturday mornings. Trauma.
We all had those, eh?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, just like
When
chill.
the music
Saturday.
starts, you know you are being
Yeah,
called to assemble.
you know that here is time. Here is the time. Oh, but yeah, and my mom was. I know my mom was like really into like theater and arts and dancing when she was a lot younger. So like, the lady can move. So I just remember her like moving her hips side to side and like. So I just have like this very clear image of my mom dancing. Um, yeah, no, it's quite a nice one. I wish I could frame it, you know. But yeah, that's Frankie by Sister Sledge. Next one, and I think this is the last one.
That's the last one.
Oh no, I've done that one. Ah, okay. Night Fever by the Bee Gees. So if there's one thing my dad will always say, like he always used to say to me growing up and my siblings, he's like, "You guys don't know music. Let me tell you about when music was music." And like honestly, like there's some amazing stuff he grew up on, like the Bee Gees, ABBA, but particularly Night Fever. Night Fever, Night Fever. We gonna have to show it. There's something all around. And I can feel it. I know I'm probably gonna listen back to this podcast, and I'm gonna be like, damn, why was I doing up noise pollution? Why was I doing up noise pollution, bruh? But it just reminds me of like us driving to our village, which was like village or like ancestral home. It's probably like 3 hours out of Kampala. And my dad, like I remember, especially when I was a lot younger, you remember those like cases for CDs? Remember like when Walkmans and CDs were it? I remember there was a time my dad came back from London, and I think he had gotten like a Bee Gees like special edition CD, a couple of other CDs as well, and he had like those black like CD bags, and I remember he used to keep it in the car. And obviously because CDs used to scratch quite easily, and I remember him just like putting just like playing like that whole Bee Gees you know, like playing that CD with all the Bee Gees bangers, and us like driving to the village, and like just him in the front seat of the car.
This is music, exactly.
Yeah. So so Night Fever by the Bee Gees really reminds me of my dad, and I remember like being younger, being like, oh my god, this is so boring. Like, what is this? You know, put on some of like the cool stuff. But then it's like now I look and I literally have a playlist on Spotify called When Music Was Music, and a lot of it is like inspired by like what my dad listened to. But I will give my dad some credit. He really got into like some of this like new generation music. So he really likes Baby Boy by Beyonce. But he sings it as "Baby boy, you are on my mind." I'm like
Very like syllable, like
"Baby boy,
nothing gets lost.
yeah." He's like "Baby boy, you are on my mind," and I'm like, first of all, it's stay, baby boy, you stay. But no, shout out to him for like, you know. But yeah, but I'll definitely say like the Bee Gees, ABBA, like yeah, there's just a couple of songs that just really remind me of like long drives to like to the village with my dad, and him just saying, you guys don't know about good music. I don't know what you guys listen to these days, but yeah. Shout out to my parents for putting me onto good music. I used to shade it quite a lot when I was younger, but you know, now I just be out here on blast with Diana Ross. It's my house and I live here. I'm actually doing up noise pollution. I'm actually going to stop today.
I was thinking about like my parents and road trips and stuff. I think my parents put me on to like Whitney.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And like both like a new age Whitney and like old Whitney of your love as well. Like
that's a banger. That is a banger. Am I dapping you? Sorry,
No,
I just like
it's
left
fine.
you hanging. I was like, is it like an expression or are we dapping? I'm just gonna go in and dap because like I just don't want to leave her hanging.
So confusing me.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And also like new Whitney stuff, newer Whitney stuff.
Yeah.
What is the name of that song? Nothing but love. One of it very new, the album where she had Akon on, I think.
Is it like
I
the
want
white
you to
album come?
want
No,
me.
like I never left.
And I
Banger,
want you
banger,
for
banger, banger,
me.
banger. Yeah.
Love Whitney. So yeah, just lots of songs for me. Most of the songs my parents really introduced me to were Find Whitney. Lots of Bob Marley. My Bob Marley also came from my dad because jamming.
Yeah.
What is that song?
Waiting in vain.
No. I shot the sheriff, but
Yeah.
I didn't shoot the deputy. Ooh. That's a fucking banger. And then obviously the Zim songs, the Oliver Mtukuzis and all that stuff as well, really came from my dad. And when I listen to them now, I get really like obviously nostalgic, but like also I love. It's just like you said, when the music was good, and also just like very different from what we have today, and it's always like lovely. I love like going back and taking like a throwback. It's the best. I do it on Sundays for some reason.
There's something about Sunday and throwbacks. Yeah.
Going to move on to listener submission.
Okay.
So I'm gonna redo the submission. And then we're just gonna kind of talk about it. The title of the story is Going Back Home for the First Time After Studying Abroad. And the song is Welcome Home by the Radicals. I'm currently studying at UP in SA. I'm from Ngwediva, and you know how small our town is. So this person's from the same town as me. I'm sure you're aware of how weird it feels to leave your small town for a huge city with a language that's not Tashuambo and so many strange but really cool things. In my culture, before you go off somewhere far, your parents are supposed to send you off and talk to you. I didn't have the privilege of doing so because my journey to studying at UP was very sudden, and the time didn't allow for me to go home and say goodbye to my parents. I was in a foreign place for 6 months. I was on the Gautrain when the song played. I listened to this song on my way to the airport and it hit different. But it hit even more different when I left Ngwediva to go. When I left Ngwediva that holiday to go back to Pretoria. It was in that moment I've come to realize my life has changed forever. Because home wasn't Ngwediva anymore, nor was it Windhoek or Pretoria. Home was a person. Home became my parents, my brothers, and the really amazing friendships I made in Pretoria. That realization brought me to tears every time I listened to that song.
Wow. That's deep and relatable for you and I.
Yeah. They're taking the trips all the time. I think when I was younger, it always felt like I had to do it because obviously I was in Cape Town, but home was in Ngwediva, so every 3 months or so I'd be going home, and it became like very a routine. But like towards the end, they just got really sad, and you're just like, what am I doing? And like we were speaking about before, I get really sad when I leave places and I leave people. So it was very much like when I'd have to leave home, I'd cry. And I'd have to leave Cape Town, I'd cry. And this is exactly what the person is saying. It's like, it's not the physical place that's like home for you. It's really the people. And when they are scattered around the place and you have to like travel up and down to be with them or to see them, it's really difficult. And I really do relate to that. Like having to, also the suddenness of moving and not having that conversation with your parents or having that send-off. You always feel unsettled as well. It's just, it's odd. That's hard. Do you have any song that you can think about that you would listen to or it reminds you of taking those kind of trips from either it was Cape Town back to Kampala or just South Africa back home?
I mean, I think for me it was also like, because I went to boarding school like outside of Uganda, so I went to boarding school in Kenya. So it was like you got trips to Uganda, trips to Kenya, and then like trips to like obviously South Africa, and then back to Uganda. And like I think one song that would probably like remind me of, I think a bit about that is like a song called like Don't Go by like this British rapper called like Wretch 32. And it's basically like, don't go, don't leave, please stay with me. And like he raps very nicely. Like his rap is amazing in it. And obviously it's like him talking about like I think like a romantic partner leaving, but like I think like the sentiment is, just like change and transition and moving and like, not always being able to be around the ones that you love and like, yeah, so I think but also understanding that like at the same time like it sucks but like this is your life, like you're very privileged to have it, so it's like a whole host of emotions, so I think like that song like really reminds me of it. Yeah, and it's hard, like I think a lot of the time, like of course like we're like super blessed, but I think sometimes like people sort of like romanticize the entire experience and like no one really talks about like the feels of like not being able to like see your parents as like often as you could as you would like to, and like even going home and knowing that like your time there is limited and like as soon as you get settled then it's like back to like and like I know what you like earlier, how you were talking about like crying and like getting upset and saying bye, like whenever my mom, particularly my mom, because I think she's a lot more emotional. Like me and her are a lot more in like the same emotional wavelength than I think my dad and I, bless. So, like whenever like I'm saying bye to my mom at the airport, girl, crying fest, and it's just the fact that you kind of just have to like, you just suck it up, and then you just like get onto that flight, and it's just like flights when you're leaving home. Oh my goodness! And I always used to go back to that song, and like, of course, it would make me cry. Like when you're feeling sad and you're like listen to sad music, and it just like makes you cry more. And I'm like, I'm not even in a movie. Like, what am I doing? But yeah, no, it's a lot of feels. Definitely a lot of feels. Yeah. But it's like, and sometimes you kind of feel like you're the only one that feels that way. But then like like the listener submission, you listen to someone like talking about that, and like in a totally different part of the world that from where you are, and you're like, okay, so like my feelings are valid.
And I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one. Yeah, exactly.
I used to really, one of the things I used to struggle with is my sisters kind of growing up without me.
Yes, I get that.
So like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh shit, they're like doing their own lives and doing their own things, but I'm not as contributing or like the word I'm looking for. It was just hard to me. I'm here.
Yeah.
They're growing up. They're doing having
they're-
experiences, and I'm not part of it. That used to hurt me
Yeah.
the most.
Yeah. No, I think I can definitely relate. Because like I have 3 younger brothers who like I love so much. Hate that they're gonna hear me say I love them. I'm never saying it again, guys. Better record this because you're not gonna hear it again. But yeah, I think even with them, like I think sometimes I feel like so much of their lives are like happening with me away from it. I think sometimes like because of that, like, and it's something I've had to tell myself, like I need to like understand that they're going to grow and evolve. I think sometimes like I think of them as who they were when I lived in Uganda full time, and it's like now they're like teenagers going into adulthood. Like one of them's an adult. Like they have opinions, and like I can't be out here like making them like do stuff for me because I don't want to do it, and I can't be out here on like so cute because like they just find that like that stuff annoying.
They're full-fledged like adult human beings.
Yeah. Like they're fully, and I think for me, like I think that's the other thing. I feel like, and I know like of course like our bond is unbreakable, but I feel like I think by being away, I feel like I'm just missing out so much on them like growing up and evolving, and sometimes I'm like, because I'm away from them, am I like lacking the opportunity to like just like truly understand? Do you know what I mean? Like I know, but I'm just like, am I like, what am I missing out on that can make me like be a better sibling to them? Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things, but like you just have to find ways to make it work, right? Yeah.
The WhatsApp on the calls and all that, but it's not the same, man.
It's not the same.
Because you come there and they're like, I don't know if vibe is the word, like they're just different.
Exactly.
And things have happened to them, things have happened to you.
True.
And sometimes when when you live with someone, you just say what you need to say.
Yeah.
The act of picking up a phone and typing it in or voice noting is such a laborious thing. That for the little things, you don't do it for the little things. You do it for the big things, right?
Yeah.
But when there's so many little things, they make up big things. So they're big chunks of your life I have no idea about.
Yeah.
Because you didn't send that 2-minute voice note, for example, right?
Yeah.
But if we were in the same room, in the same house, you just bang my door and like tell it to me and then like go away. But we don't have that anymore. So it's like, oh, big parts. Like, even the catch up for me is not enough. Like, there's still little things I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think it's the whole, like, yes, they're fully fledged adults living their lives, doing their thing. But, like, they're big parts of my life that I don't know about. And it's just weird. It's like, I hate it. It's fucked.
No, really. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. And, like, I was still, like, my parents were in London over the weekend, and I was just saying that, like, it would be great if they could all just move to the UK, because they're all, like, you know, finishing high school, into uni. And I was like, it would be perfect if they were, like, you know, all here. So we could just, like, all live together. Although, like, we did definitely have, like, our fair share of, like, sibling disagreements. I remember there was a time I ate my little brother's pizza. World War III, fam. But, you know, it's all love. It's all...
I used to, for some reason, dictate.
Yeah.
When Tiffany and could have hot chocolate. I don't know why.
I am done.
And why was it so deep? Like, it was hot chocolate. So
I'm so done.
One day,
I'm so done.
and I was like, "You had hot chocolate yesterday. Today you must have tea. Why? Why? Why can't I have hot chocolate every day? Like, why can't I?" Why, Roberta? Why? Why did I do that?
Have you seen that TikTok? Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off. Take me off.
Why?
Because I'm actually so done.
But so, I don't know why I did that. Then she comes one day and she asks for hot chocolate. I'm like, no, you had hot chocolate yesterday. Today you must have tea. She was like, give me hot chocolate. I said, no. She lost her mind. She became feral. I can't even.
I mean, the girl was being denied resources in her own home. What the hell?
You know the camel that broke the thing, the straw on the camel?
Yeah, yeah.
She looked at me, dog, and she launched herself at me.
Yikes.
I've never seen this. Because the thing is, she was watching TV in her room. And I said, "Today can I have hot chocolate?" "No, you're not gonna have chocolate." You had it yesterday.
No, girl.
You had it yesterday, bitch.
You had some yesterday, girl.
And then, why was it finished? I don't know. I need to go and sit down with myself and ask myself why I was that person. Anyway, she stood on the bed and launched at me, dog. And I was running out the room. She called me because I wouldn't give her hot chocolate and she lost her mind. And my aunt came and she's like, "What's going on?" She was like, "Tonight, give me hot chocolate."
And your aunt was something like, these kids.
And I didn't give her hot chocolate as well. So what did you win? Nothing.
Oh my day.
And if you ask me tomorrow again, I'll tell you no because you hit me for hot chocolate.
Oh my day.
But also, why did I do that? I don't know. But you know, it's all love.
It's just those older sibling vibes, man.
Why?
That's so funny. Like, I'm actually done. I don't know. But that just reminded me, like, when we were young, like at home, like every Saturday, like it's always been a thing. Like my sibling, like we always order takeout for dinner on Saturday. So for the longest time, like, so I have 3 brothers, Sean, Paul, and Martin. So
a nice band name. They could all just be part of a band.
I know. So Sean, like, because so like I'd get like whatever. Actually, to be fair, most of the time when they were ordering takeout, I was out in the streets. So usually it was just the 3 of them at home. And because Sean was the older of the 3, and so he was bigger, they used to give him like 1 pizza, and then Paul and Martin would share. And like even when Paul and Martin got bigger, like whenever they would ask them what they want, they would say they just wanted 1 pizza to share. And then my dad was like, "Is it enough?" And they thought that because Sean was the eldest, he was entitled to 1, but they had to share because they were younger.
This is what we received. This is what we get.
They're like, yeah, because we're younger than Sean. Sean's the older sibling.
And Sean was like, "You never asked. I don't know."
So that's what the hot chocolate story reminded me of.
Why do we do that?
No.
And Chipo, I'm so sorry. I should have given you the hot chocolate.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
I am done.
It's all love.
Yeah. I'm actually done. I'm actually never going to forget that.
Okay, cool. So we're about to end off.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wrap it up with like a few questions. I'll ask you a question and you just like answer the question, basically. So, first question. What is a song you wish you could hear again for the first time?
Ooh. I'll probably go with Wet Dreams by J. Cole.
Why?
Yeah. Like, it's just 2014 Forest Hills Drives by J. Cole is actually just like a masterpiece. And like I just remember there's just something about the rhythm and when the beat drops and it's like it was a nothing but the first time she was in and I'm like I remember just listening to that and like I used to live for like listening to like rap albums when I was in like undergrad and I just remember listening to that and it was just so smooth and I think it was also like at a point where like we all go through like highs and lows like in uni and I think I was just in a bit of like a sunken place and like I remember like I mean we all love it when like new music comes out but I think like when that album came out and it was the first song I played and I loved it. Jermaine was actually is one of the many imaginary husbands I've had. Gorgeous
good reason.
Man. Yeah, gorgeous man. So funny, like I want to send this podcast for my parents to listen to. They're just going to hear me like, damn, Roberta's just talking about what she thinks about his men, hot men.
And partying outside.
That's all they're going to say. Like, damn, Daniel. But yeah, I'll say Wet Dreams by J. Cole.
My favorite J. Cole album is, what's that? Born Sinner.
Yes.
I love Born Sinner.
Does that have She Knows? She Knows.
Yes.
And I Know She Knows. That's such a good album. No, he's such a talented guy. Talented, gorgeous.
And super chill as well. Yeah. Like the dreads are working. He's just working.
I know. He seems like such an enlightened individual as well.
Cool. A song on your playlist that people who know you will be surprised that you have on there.
God, I'm about to lose my street cred here. I would probably say I Write Sins Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco.
What's wrong with the song?
Nothing. I think it's because like it's kind of like punk rock and I don't
love Panic at the Disco.
Yeah. And I like obviously I'm very like rap, R&B, dancehall, Afro beats.
There's that one outlier.
Yeah, but like I chime in when the haven't you people never heard of. Close the goddamn door now.
I love
like
that.
there are a couple of those like bangers that came out like a couple of those Oyinbo bangers that came out like in the mid 2000s like Green Day. There's this other song, I not go say it and so I will not go carry me home.
Whose song is that?
I think it's by Blink 182.
I love Blink 182 as well.
Yeah, it's Blink. Even like Stacey's mom has got it going on.
Stacey, can't you see that she's not the girl for me? I'm in love with Stacey's mom.
Yeah. So I'd probably say, probably like Panic at the Disco vibes. Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to think that I was so special. You know when you am I better than everyone else? I'm better. When I was listening to Paramore when I was younger.
Yeah.
But then I know now that Paramore is quite literally a black people band.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It actually is.
They're ours.
Yeah.
But I used to love listening to Paramore, Misery Business,
yes,
and
banger.
what's one of the
Crush.
I'm going away for a while.
Okay,
I'll be back. Don't try to follow me.
Yeah.
She's got my heart. And then Crush.
Yeah.
And then there was a song they did for Twilight because I was a Twilight girly through and
through. Girl.
It was gross.
Dude.
There was a time.
Did you want to?
I wanted to marry that man. Robert Pattinson was my husband.
Yeah.
Once, he won an award at one of those MTV things.
Yeah.
It was playing during the night.
Yeah.
At home, and we were in the bedroom where the TV was, and he wins, and I lose my mind.
As usual.
It is 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
My African mother bangs the door. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you explain to her that your husband just won?
Your man
and you're like 11 as well.
Also,
your
like,
husband just won the thing.
She
She sent us all to bed, so I ruined it for everybody. She's like, get the fuck out. All of you, get the fuck out.
No.
Because I ruined it.
Dude, no, honestly, like, that Twilight phase, dude, like, no cap, like, I prayed to God to turn me into a vampire. Like, when I read the books,
Yes.
I remember...
Yes.
Like, I hope my mom doesn't hear this, because I literally prayed to... Like, I would be like, God, especially after I read the books. I was like, dear, like... I was 15. Like, I had a brain, damn it. I was like, dear God, please help me turn into a vampire.
It was actual prayers.
I actually prayed.
Like,
Especially
those are
after
prayers.
reading the books. Because, like, the movies, but then you read the books.
I just want to be with him.
Yo, I was like...
I too want to glitter in the sky.
Yeah, I actually... Like, in retrospect, that was so problematic. And also, as a Christian, like, what was I on? That's how pop culture gets you, bruh. That's how pop culture gets you.
I used to be a Twilight girly.
Yeah.
I had all the books.
Yeah.
And I
yeah,
lost a
of course.
friend because of the book. So let me tell you what happened.
What
So I was in grade 7.
Yeah.
And I had all the Twilight books.
Yeah.
Absolutely all of them. And a friend, my best friend at the time, was like, oh, can I read this book?
Yeah.
I was like, fine. But I was lazy, but I also wanted to preserve my book. So I was like, I'm going to give you the book. You're going to read it, obviously. But when you bring it back to me, please cover it. I gave her the cover and everything.
Yeah.
I gave her the plastic. Ask her, honey, where's my book after a few weeks? She's like, oh, it's coming. When it came,
Was it in tatters?
the pages were flying out.
Hi,
It wasn't covered.
Hi, bo.
And she was unapologetic. She was like,
Ski.
but you know what I actually think? I think about now. You're talking about Christianity and whatnot. Her mom was heavily Christian. And I feel like my book just found itself in the hands of the mother.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
she tore the shit up.
Yeah.
And she couldn't tell me.
Yeah.
And I stopped being friends with her. Like, I was like, okay, cool. You, how
No,
dare
fair
you?
enough. Fair enough. Also, vandalism.
How dare
Yeah.
Do you know how much I love this book?
Like, Loki should have bought you a new one, though. Like, on a principle
Oh, no,
thing.
she just wasn't going to do it.
On a principle thing, she should have bought you a new one. Yeah.
I lost my Twilight book and a friendship that day.
I mean, fair
I replaced the Twilight book, but fuck the friendship, right? I'm not about
Thanks,
it.
friends.
I don't need it. I want this book. But yeah. Cool. The next question is, what song makes you feel confident?
Confident. There's this song by this I think she's a British musician called Desiree, and it's called You Gotta Be. So you gotta be like, it's so like obvious from the lyrics. So like, you gotta be wise, you gotta be strong, you gotta that one. I think I don't listen to it as often as I should, but like, you know, if I think about I guess songs that, like, you know, really like I guess really just like remind me about the importance of, like, you know, believing in myself. I think that's definitely one of them. There's also another one. It's lost me. We'll come back to it, but it's like right there, but it's just not the brain.
Coming.
It's just not coming, but it's there. Mm-hmm.
If you were a music artist, what kind of genre of song do you think you'd be making?
Whew. Well, as y'all know,
As a Caribbean woman myself.
like, you know, I think I would probably... I don't know if I'm flexible enough to be a dancehall artist, man. Like, I see Spice on stage doing the most, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd be able to do that with, like, months of, like, you know, stretching. I think I'd probably try and be... I don't know. is it possible to be an artist that, like, does a little bit of everything? Kind of like Nicki Minaj. Like, she does the singing, she does like the rapping, she does like the Jamaican stuff as well. Yeah, I think I'll definitely want to be someone that's like, that's quite fluid. Yeah, a little bit of everything. Nicki vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Final question. If you were stranded in a desert, right, and you had a music player that could play music infinitely, but you could only play 3 albums, what would your desert island albums be?
3 albums. Damn, Daniel. Probably Watch the Throne by Jay-Z and Kanye.
Okay, what song on Watch the Throne do you think is your favorite?
Gotta Have It. What you need? What you need? That's sick beat, sick rhymes. Like, honestly, that album probably like one of my top 5. So Gotta Have It. So Watch the Throne by Jay-Z, and Kanye, and then probably Beyonce, Dangerously in Love.
What song on there?
Probably, it's either between, girl, there's 3. I can't pick one. Be With You, and That's How You Like It, with like her and Jay-Z, That's How You Like It. That's such a banger. And then Me, Myself, and I. Also like '03 Bonnie and Clyde. Woo! Look for me, young, be cruising down the west side. I literally remember like watching that on Channel O. Like I heard you referencing that and I was like, what a throwback. I remember like, I think there was a point I was forbidden from watching Channel O, like as a child. And I just remember like I would always be watching it and like listening for the gate. So like when my parents were coming, I would like, I would, and like, with DSTV back in the day, like, I think it had the option where you can click a button and go to the previous channel that you were on. So I always used to make sure that I would like go through 2 channels. So if my parents were to like go back to see what I'd been watching, they wouldn't be able to see that I'd been watching like Channel O and like MTV and all that good stuff. Yeah, so definitely Dangerously in Love by Beyonce. And then the third one, off the top of my head, I'll probably say 2014, like Forest Hills Drives. Yeah, Forest Hills Drives by J. Cole. Yeah, and probably like January 28th is absolutely love that song. Yeah. This podcast is probably going to end and I'm going to be like, damn, I should have said something else. But yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good selection.
Thanks, girl.
I think that's a great place to end this. We've been at this for a while.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the bands, the jokes. Yeah, no, that hot chocolate story, I'm literally never, like, I'm not letting that one go.